So once you're done with the first step, you run the cell. So you click run. So it tells you have executed this in 1 second. So then we go to the next phase, which is so this gets as file from Google Colab import files. So remember our files are from here. Yeah, I didn't know how to close this afterward. Okay, so from Google Colab import files, then upload is equals to files.upload. So these are the commands that we need to put in terms of loading the dataset. So remember that we have been able to read our datasets using the different libraries. Then we are here loading our datasets. Okay. So they're saying choose file, not file chosen, cancel upload. So it's actually uploading a file so that it can be loaded here. So remember it's tell us to choose the file. So we have loaded our file is telco. They're telling you this was a successful execution where we uploaded our file. Telco. I think we need to redo this so that you can see it clearly again. So code, then we load our dataset. So remember, I've just, for in this case, I just copied this and then pasted it here. So this is the command that you are given, and in essence, the goal is us to understand how we input these commands, and this is also what I'm actively doing. So you load, remember you uploaded the telco customer chan.csv file. So they're telling you choose files, cancel upload. So you can actually choose a file by clicking choose a file. It leads you to your downloads and then you can select telco customer chan. So we have our CSV file chosen, and as you can see it's loaded. Then we can be able to what to load our data over here. Like our data is concerning the telco customer chan, and it has the customer ID, their gender, their senior citizen, the partners, the dependents, the tenure, the phone service, and what have you. So any data can be loaded in this way. Remember, um, Gemini AI is asking you how can I install. So if you're willing to explore more on this, you actually have your partner over here, the AI tells you how to load data from Google Drive, show an example of training. You see, you have multiple tools that you can actually depend on. So then we come to the next step, and in this case, it's so the second question is explain the difference between the function of the DF head, uh, describe, and DF info. So you need to answer this. Okay. In this activity, we find the metadata and list your findings in the line below. Okay. So the answer is so this is a metadata list, and then the second question is to and the difference between the function we have had and describe and give info. So you're going to run the function separately and make comments about the output. So let's start with df head. So we can actually copy this question because we are interested in this question. We are answering this question. So we can input text. Okay. So here because we'll have to answer this question. And the first question was, what was the first question? The first question was Um, Please find the metadata data in the line below. So this was the first question. So you type it in here. That was the first question. So the second question allows, so we can then go on and continue coding. And the first function is df header. So df header, because you're supposed to run these functions separately, then comment about the output. So let's run this and see. So you have a df head. So what's the output? We need to comment on this. Then we also need to run. So what can we comment on this df head? What can we comment on this? Okay. So our comment here will be what can we comment on the df head? Or what are we observing? We're observing that we have customer diversity. So based on the attributes like gender, senior citizen, and all that. Then we can also see service usage. We have phone service. We will show whether the customer use basic or extended phone service. We can see the tenure ranges. So what is this pointing us to? So it can actually give us a churn prediction where we are combining service usage and tenure to predict which customers are likely to leave. And then with that, we can get information about the segmentation, which group of customers by service, by combination, service combination, tenure, and demographics. So we can be able to segregate our customer based on their groups. Which service do they like? Are they combining together? What tenure are they using? How long are they using the service? Like if it was subscription service, how long are they taking into this service? We can also do service optimization where we identify which service are underused and which are highly retained. So from this data, we can get that information. Okay, now let's get the DF describe so that we see how we can comment on it. So run the code and you can see that we have a categorization based on the senior citizen, the tenure, and the monthly charges. So what can we comment on this based on how we have seen it? Um, let's have a closer look. So here we are seeing a situation where I have our variables like the senior citizen, tenure, and what else? The variables are being broken down and the monthly charges. So we are seeing the range, the mean, and the distribution in terms of the variables that we have. So what implication does this have? So by segmenting by the tenure and the charges, we reveal the pattern of loyalty and profitability. And if we are segmenting based on the senior citizen, we are seeing what services are most preferred by the senior citizens. And if we are seeing a high variance in charges and tenure suggests diverse customer profile, then we are able to cluster and personalize our market. Interesting, right? DF info and see what we can comment on that. So basically, this is the assignment that I'm supposed to do. Uh, Run, then comment on it. So the next step here will be to, wait a minute. So to run